Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to unlock some serious wisdom hidden inside a 900-year-old poem. And get this, it was written by one of the most powerful and frankly controversial figures in all of Korean history. What he had to say back then might just change how you look at your own crazy busy life today.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A 12th century statesman teaching us about burnout? It sounds a little strange, right? But trust me, this is not just any old poem. It's more like a confession. It's a moment of shocking clarity from a man who had literally everything and then realized it wasn't what he thought it was. It's a message that feels like it could have been written yesterday. So, first things first, let's meet the man behind the words. His name is Kim Bu-sik. Now, this was not some quiet poet scribbling away in a mountain cabin. Oh no, this was a statesman, a general, a historian, a true power broker right at the heart of the Goryeo dynasty. This was a man who commanded armies and had no problem crushing his political enemies to get to the top. I mean, just look at his life. It was a relentless climb to the top. He was born into an elite family. He led military campaigns. He even wrote the definitive history of Korea's three kingdoms, the famous Samguk Sagi. He was a man of action, a man of incredible influence. And that's exactly what makes the poem we're about to decode so shocking.
Okay, let's dive right in. The very first part of this poem is just this stunning admission. It's where this incredibly powerful man starts to tear down the very thing his entire life was built on, ambition.
It all starts with this single line written in Hanja, which are the characters used in classical Korean. Think of each one as a little packet of meaning we get to unwrap.
So, let's unlock this. We're going to go through character by character, using the Korean sounds. First up is Lao, pronounced no, which means old. Next is Da, pronounced day, meaning great. Now, these next two, mushin, kind of go together. We say them as mushim, and it means something like without heart for it or indifferent. Then we have fun, which is byong, to float. And finally, a pair, uhu or ohu, which means 5 lakes. So what's the big deal with the 5 lakes? Well, this is the key. It's not just about a nice day on the water. In classical literature, the 5 lakes were a symbol for grand adventures, for worldly ambitions, for conquest. So what Kim Bu-sik is saying here is, I'm getting old. That fire I had for fame and power, yeah, it's out. And he doesn't stop there. The next line shows he's letting go of another kind of ambition, one that was just as important to a man like him.
Okay, let's break this one down too. We start with bu, which is pronounced bu, meaning not. Then we have kai, or gai, which means to open. These next two, shujuan, are said together. Sogwan. It means a book or a scroll. Next is ji, juk, which means immediately. Then ti, che, to lift. And we finish with hu, which is a bottle or a pot. This is such a brilliant line. See, for a scholar official like him, books were everything. Knowledge was power, it was status. But here, he's just shoving them aside. He's saying, I'm done with that relentless chase for knowledge. Instead, I'm just going to enjoy this simple moment right now. So if he's given up on power and he's given up on intellectual status, what's actually left? Well, the second half of the poem is where everything clicks. This is his big revelation. And the whole scene just shifts. He takes us away from the world of politics and ambition and brings us to a much quieter, more contemplative place. All right, let's walk through this one. The first two characters, yo shi, read as you shi, mean there was a time. Next up, bu or bu means to support, and bing, byong, means sickness. Then comes lai or rei, meaning to come. And the last two, xiao, read Sosa, are this beautiful poetic way of saying a Buddhist temple. And this right here is so important. His big moment of truth, it doesn't happen on a battlefield or in the royal court. It happens when he is at his most vulnerable. He's sick, he's weak, he's humbled. He's not the great general anymore. He's just a man who can barely stand on his own. And from this place of total humility, he looks out and he sees something. And that something changes absolutely everything. This line is the real heart of the entire poem. So for our final line, which paints the poem's main picture for us, it starts with il, pronounced il for one, and chok, which means cluster. These next two, Kangsan or Gangsan,
literally mean river and mountain, but it's the classic Korean way to just say the landscape. Then comes sa, meaning to be like or to resemble. And it ends with hwa-do, red hwa-do, which means a painting.
And there it is, the epiphany. After an entire life spent fighting for land, striving for titles, and hoarding knowledge, he finally realizes that the most beautiful, most profound thing he's ever seen is just the view, the landscape right in front of him. It's not a territory to be conquered. It's a work of art to be admired. This poem really lays out two totally different ways to live, doesn't it? On one side, you have the life he actually lived, this constant, grinding pursuit of power, knowledge, and fame. And on the other, you have the view he found at the temple, a life of peace and beauty that you find not by doing more, but just by being. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Why are we talking about a 900-year-old poem? Why does the confession of this medieval warlord scholar still hit so hard in our super fast, hyper-connected world? Well, the message is just timeless. Kim Bu-sik's burnout came from a lifetime of conquests and politics. Our burnout? It probably comes from endless deadlines and a phone that never stops buzzing. But the answer he found is exactly the same. True contentment, real happiness, it's not about the next achievement. It's about taking a breath and appreciating the beauty that is already around you. It's about realizing that all the stuff we chase is temporary, and that sometimes our biggest moments of clarity only come when life forces us to slow way down. So that kind of leaves us with a question for ourselves, doesn't it? It took Kim Bu-sik getting old and sick to finally see that stunning landscape that was in front of him the whole time. So what's the beautiful painting in your own life that you might be too busy chasing the next thing to even notice? What's your view from the temple?